Welcome to the oasis.state podcast, a podcast where we peel back the layers of life's mysteries, decode the cosmic dance, and embrace the technicolor tapestry of our existence. I'm Zoe, your guide through the twists and turns of this wild journey we call life. If you've ever felt like you don't quite fit into society's mold, well, you've found the right place. Join me as we dive deep into the pool of existence, exploring the WTF moments that make life simultaneously confusing and exhilarating. From soul-expanding experiences to heart-wrenching healing journeys, we'll shine the light on all of it, and I'll share how we can alchemize these moments into pure magic and transformation. Consider this podcast your safe haven, your home away from home, where you can let your freak flag fly and embrace the full spectrum of who you are. So are you ready to join me on this soul-expanding adventure? Buckle up, my friends. Let's make some magic together. Good morning, gorgeous soul. I'm back. I am not with my laptop right now, so I can't confirm, but I'm pretty sure the last time I recorded a podcast episode was maybe May of this year. And now we're in November. Surprise. No, I have been through the wildest few months, and I'll record a potty ep about that soon enough. But I just woke up this morning. It's 5:23 a.m. and I'm sitting behind the sand dunes at Currumbin Beach. For those of you playing along at home, I was living in Northern Rivers and now I have relocated back up to the Gold Coast where I was previously living. And it is just so good for my nervous system and my soul. And I just felt the call to come back to this beautiful area, and it has just paid off dividends already within the first few weeks. And yeah, I woke up nice and early, and the first thought that came into my conscious mind was record a podcast. And yeah, so here I am. So I am down at the beach, as I mentioned. It is a little bit windy, but I'm hopefully blocking it. And if you can hear some waves in the background, that's because I'm at the beach, which I've mentioned now. So yeah, I'm really excited to be recording today. I feel like past versions of me really took the podcast so seriously. And as a result, it's been months in between recording podcast episodes because I was like, I need complete silence in my share house, which is basically an oxymoron. That's the right term. Basically impossible. And I need to set up my mic, and I need this, and I need this kind of lighting, and I want it to be a video. And yeah, I've just gone through this transformative few months and really realized how important my lifestyle is to me. And I want my business and my offerings to sort of support my lifestyle rather than creating a business and or, for some of you playing along at home, employment. We often are conditioned to focus on that. Where is the money coming in? What's our sense of purpose? And then the lifestyle is sort of just like this luxury on the side. And I'm like, fuck that noise. Like, definitely didn't want to do that. So yeah, I've just sort of had to push against the envelope, edge out of my comfort zones, and create a lifestyle which you think, would be easy and enjoyable. But in this society, it's, it causes a lot of fear. It's very unknown. So I have created a lifestyle for myself, and I've set the intention that I want my business and offerings to support that and sort of naturally blend into that. So I feel like today, sitting here recording this podcast literally just as a voice note into my fucking phone is an actual manifestation of that, because I would already be down here with my bone broth and my journal, maybe doing meditation. And yeah, today I just decided to record for you guys down here. So I'm like, that's the manifestation of what I was putting out there, is I would be down here anyway, but I felt the call to press record, and now we're here. Okay, let's get to the fucking point. Today's episode is about getting curious. I love getting curious with myself. I love self-inquiry. I love self-discovery. If you haven't noticed, if you've been following along on my social media or listening to my podcast episodes, it's just the thing that drives me. It's the thing that, it's my Energizer bunny. It's my little batteries that get put into my backpack, and I keep going and going and going. So I woke up this morning and was thinking about that. I was like, it's really just a process. Like it can get very stiff. Let's say maybe in the spiritual development world or the personal development world, people can, get really stiff and really serious about it. And I was reflecting on my own journey this morning, and I just realized it's all I'm doing is getting curious with myself, and that's every part of myself. And I will break down how exactly I've done that, because it might just be too of an abstract thing. Like, but how do I get curious, and it always frustrates me when people like gatekeep and just get really fluffy about it. Like, just like, don't be poor. And you're like, oh, but fucking how? So I will break down how I get curious, but I suppose the little hook that I want to offer beforehand is, what is the point? What's the result? What's like the reward at the end of getting curious? And for me, I was voice messaging a friend yesterday, and that's what helped me realize what the result of getting curious again and again and again with myself every day, every moment, with every good thing, really feeling into that and celebrating it, every horrible thing, every trigger, every shadow, every uncomfortable moment. The result of that for me has been that my inner world is genuinely a straight up good time. It's such a fun experience now. And it doesn't mean that I don't have waves of fear, anxiety, doubt, etc. But I am such a fucking weapon at the moment. I literally the other day moved through the most gigantic wave of fear I've felt in a while. Honestly, within 15 minutes, I shifted it back to a place of trust and a place of empowerment and a place of deep knowing. And it was all while I was walking through Coles. Like, I just had my headphones in, I was listening to music, and I was like, oh my dear God, this wave of grief is going to absolutely fucking consume me. And I had the tools, I had the awareness, I have the muscle, the curiosity muscle that I've been flexing again and again and again. And it's so amped now. It's so like, it's just there at my disposal all the time. So I got really curious with that wave of fear and was able to transmute it back to a place of trust within 15 minutes. Like, just walking around Coles in the freaking Asian veggies aisle and grabbing my can of coconut milk for my yellow curry, like, come on. Yeah. And so my inner world is a really beautiful experience, but it's, like I said, it's not without, it's friction, but I just feel like my curiosity muscle is so strong now that it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me when things come along, because I am aware that, especially as a woman, we are just not little, we're huge, gorgeous entities, but we're feeling machines. Like, I want to do a whole nother episode on that. I don't want to go on a tangent, but we are meant to feel, So when a wave of fear comes up, it's not about, oh shit, what's gone wrong, blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, I'm here to feel, and let's lean into what that fear is telling me, what's inviting me to look at, what's it asking of me. And yeah, so I was voice messaging this friend and was just like, my inner world is just such a fun place to be. I genuinely love my inner world. Like, I'm a very deep person. I think very deeply. I feel very deeply. And until I was able to get curious with myself, and the process, like the aim of getting curious with yourself is to actually understand yourself, because when you have that understanding, you can begin practices of like radical acceptance and radical self-love, which basically just means like you're not cherry picking parts of yourself that you think you should love or that are easy to love or accept. You are literally pulling apart every single facet of yourself and being like, I love that and I accept that. And that is the coolest thing ever. So I was saying to her that my inner world is just such a fun and delicious experience because I know myself now. And it's also actually, I do know myself, but then I don't. I digress. I have been living by this mantra for a while now of I am not a problem to fix, but I am a mystery to witness. So when you're flexing this curiosity muscle, it's not from a lens of self-judgment, of comparison, of all of those negative, dense emotions. You are witnessing yourself as the beautiful, insane mystery that you are, and just taking inventory basically. And it's such a beautiful journey, guys. Like, holy shit. I just want everyone to feel the way that I'm feeling now. And it's compounding. Like, I think when you flex the curiosity muscle for long enough, it actually starts taking on a life of its own, and it builds its own momentum. And honestly, every single day at the moment is just the most beautiful experience. And when I was messaging that friend yesterday, and I was just like, I'm hilarious. So I'm not coming on here to just have a little ego trip, but if you can hear, I'm actually speaking from the heart, and I'm speaking from a place that, or if it is triggering your ego, then that's work that needs to be done as well. But anyway, that can be another episode as well. But yeah, again, with my inner experience, I'm a very deep feeler, very deep thinker. And I observed in myself the other day that I'm like walking around giggling at myself because of my own thoughts, like I don't need to be funny to anyone else, but as long as I think I'm funny, that's ace. That's so good. So I was saying to her, I was like, I just think I'm hilarious. Like my own little inner dialogue actually has me laughing now rather than crying or feeling anxious or curling up into a little ball, like what? I genuinely just love myself, and it's like I said, it's a constant journey. I'm a mystery, and I'm just going to keep taking inventory every single day. And I just hope that this episode inspires you guys to look at that kind of stuff as well. So yeah, that's sort of the result. And I was also saying to her, this again was quite early in the morning, and I was like, because when you start loving your inner world, it's reflected in your outer world. And it's the wildest thing, like not actually that much on your outer world needs to change, and it will continue to change. Like I am manifesting things like it's out of control. But when you get curious enough to create a harmonious relationship within yourself where, yeah, you just genuinely like yourself and you genuinely respect yourself and the beautiful, wonderful mystery that you are, your outer world, the lens of your outer world just becomes rose-colored. It's like life is just so beautiful. And like I said, not that much has to change for you to actually feel that straight away. So that's really exciting. And then I've still got, desires, I've pushed out there into the universe. Push, that's so aggressive. I've still got things that I want to change in this physical realm. But there's no neediness and there's no urgency around it, because I'm just sitting here looking at this, the grass on the sand dunes here swaying in the wind. And I'm like, what a beautiful experience. Like there is so much beauty around us, but until I could actually witness the beauty within myself, I couldn't fully drop into this beauty around me. So it's actually so incredible. So when I was voice messaging her, and I was just like, it was early in the morning, and I was like, I straight up actually like myself. Like I cannot put a price tag on actually genuinely enjoying this inner experience and all of the good that comes from the inner experience, because I'm, like I said, this outer experience, as in life, is just so delicious, guys. Like I honestly just feel like a little fairy walking around, like dripping little bits of honey and fairy dust into everyone's life. I'm like, everyone should chill. Everyone should play. Everyone should just be happy. And like, anyway, so I said in the voice message, I've already had the best day in the entire world. I am just so full and I'm so content and I'm so energized by the day. And it was only like 5:30 in the morning. And I was like, and now I've got the rest of the day to live. Like, what a straight up privilege. So yeah, it's just a really important part of life. And I think we always do it the wrong way around. We try to create this beauty and these things to sort of like give us, our ego, like a bit of a dopamine hit in our outer world of like, yes, I've got the house, I've got the car, I've got the girl or whatever. But it has to be the other way around. You have to magnetize this beautiful view of the world, understanding of the world, and beauty. You literally magnetize beauty and beautiful encounters and moments and flowers and everything into your life when you create that beauty within. It's actually no, so you don't create the beauty within, you just remember it. Like, it's always there, guys, but we just have layers upon layers of limiting stories, false beliefs, trauma, all of that stuff. So yeah, it's not easy, but I feel like I just sat in the fire for long enough, looked at my shadows, befriended my shadows for long enough that I hope that you can genuinely hear in my words and in my voice that it is worth it. And it really, really, really is. So yeah, that's my disclaimer. That's my hook about why it's important to get curious, because I'm sitting here like, wow, life is so beautiful, but it didn't feel beautiful all the time, you know? But I just really hope that my explanation, like then, quite a lengthy explanation, it's just like a bit of a gratitude bomb or a love bomb just then, but you're welcome. I think we all need it. We all need to be seeing life through these beautiful rose-colored glasses. And like I said, it doesn't mean uncomfortable things don't happen, doesn't mean we don't feel fear, but I am experiencing this queen-like energy of, I'm so soft in this experience of the beauty of the grass waving in the wind right now. But there's this fierceness that I have now, and I feel so confident and grounded in my ability to go through the icky stuff. So I hope that listening to this episode is going to inspire you guys as well, because especially as women, we're going through all of this deconditioning stuff. Like, we are actually living in a patriarchal society. And if you look up the definition of patriarchal society, it's literally just right there in a Google definition. It just says a patriarchal society is to benefit men, and women are basically not considered. Oh, it's absolutely wild. So that's one of my missions, is just to completely deconstruct this society and rebuild a balanced one. But that's for another episode as well. So as women, we have already sort of, and I'm not saying this to like give you another reason to feel like a victim, but I'm just saying that like it is more important than ever for you to step into this queen energy, this goddess fairy energy. Like, there's probably better words for it, but that's how I feel every day. I feel like a mermaid, goddess, fairy, princess, queen, and it's fucking great. And like I said, it doesn't mean that life is all rosy colored. I just fucking straighten my crown and move through the density and the clunkiness with this fierceness that I have been able to earn through getting curious with my inner environment, inner world, inner environment, you know? So yeah, it's really, really important. Been talking for 16 minutes about how important it is. So yeah, and now I'm just going to give you, it's not actually even that exciting. I've kept you on this whole episode to be like, it's not actually that much. But the whole process of getting curious is actually, I think, I don't know, well, for me, I sort of edged into my spiritual journey through the personal development experience, just the classic, like picking up the Power of Now, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, and being like, what? Time isn't real? What? So just the very sort of not traditional, that's not the right word, but very common ways of moving into the spiritual realm. And people like to profit off the spiritual journey, and there's actually nothing wrong with that. I need to look at that. Again, this is an example of me needing to get curious, because there is nothing wrong with making money off supporting people on their spiritual journey, but there's a little bit of jadedness there in that comment, because there's a lot of people that like to profit off people that are very lost and confused. So I'm just trying to make the point that you don't need a program to create this beauty within your inner world. Remember this beauty within your inner world and peel back those layers. But if you feel called to do courses, I've done courses, I've worked with mentors, and it was definitely part of my journey. But I think the jadedness that I need to soften into is that I was made to believe that it's the only way, that I need someone to hold my hand through this entire journey. And if I try and do any of it by myself, it's just completely pointless. Like, and I'm not saying someone directly fed that story down my throat, but that's just the story that I created. It was because everyone's like, you got to do this mentorship and then go into this mastermind and then you've got to do this. And you don't have to fucking do anything, actually. And I'm not saying that to you guys. I'm saying that to past Zoz. Like, oh, anyway, I'll journal about that later. So yeah, courses and support and meditations and all of those like tools are super, super helpful on your journey of getting curious with yourself. But and again, maybe the way that I am navigating my inner world now is I feel confident to do that independently because I spent years in these groups, working on these self-paced courses, etc. But nowadays, the way that I'm getting curious is just moment to moment. It is a very feminine experience. There's no logic, there's no rhyme or reason behind it. I'm just spending every day following the feeling, following my intuition. And again, that's really important for women to, again, that's a muscle. Intuition is a muscle. Curiosity is a muscle. And maybe intuition is curiosity. I don't know. Could be for another episode. But yeah, it's just such a feminine experience at the moment. And I'll wake up and I'll be like, what? And I trust it. I think it's because I've built that trust. I trust myself because I'm just so obsessed with experiencing and witnessing the beautiful mystery that is me, you know? So I'm not like, oh shit, I've got to sit down and write those 10 pages. I genuinely am never without my journal. But I said to my friend the other day, I was like, I actually didn't journal today, but I didn't feel like it. But I did a whole bunch of other wholesome things that supported me to get curious with myself. And so I think it's important to create a whole ecosystem of tools around you because, yeah, like I said, it's when you're trusting yourself to create that time to have that self-inquiry and get curious, you need to, that's the trust piece, that's the structure, that's the masculine piece. But then the feminine piece is feeling into the feeling and your intuition and being like, what do I need today? And remembering that we're actually holistic beings. So for me, holistic is we have a spiritual intelligence, a mental intelligence, emotional intelligence, and a physical intelligence. So some days I just might need some yoga. I might need some stillness and some meditation and some yoga. And then other days I might just write, honestly, 50 pages in my journal and just let it all pour out. But we're these gorgeous, holistic, cyclical beings, especially as well as women, cyclical beings that we're going through these different phases every week. Like every month we are actually 4 different women. We have it in a summer, winter, autumn, and spring, and men do as well, but we have it within our hormonal cycle. But men don't have it in their hormonal cycle. They have it through like life cycles. So they'll, have an inner summer, achieve all these things, do all these things, and then they'll have an inner, anyway, so I digress. I go and it was a tangent. So yeah, it's about getting curious with what you need whilst honoring that you are a cyclical, holistic being. So yeah, today I've woken up and wanted to record a podcast. I'm feeling very expressive. And a podcast for me is actually about getting curious because as I've pressed record and I'm saying all of this, I'm like, whoa, like I'm actually listening to myself. And morning. Sorry, just the locals, Larry and John, just come up to the sand dunes. So just saying, hey, lovely to have that sense of community. That's something that I've been calling in for a very long time. So yay. Yeah, it's about getting curious, but then also honoring that you are a cyclical, holistic being and building that trust muscle enough to be like, to allow yourself to get curious, to be like, what do I need today? And having access and familiarity with enough tools. So like I said, I was having a bit of a go at, oh, you don't need to do all these programs, but maybe you do. Maybe you do need to do some programs right now. But I'm just saying, don't outsource your power on this journey by just doing programs and just like trying to lean on a mentor, because you're missing the whole point of getting curious and becoming that empowered queen that you are, So in saying that, I am actually creating a platform where I'm going to have endless amounts of resources that support this exact journey. It's still I was going to say it's still in its beginning phases, but no, I'm just letting my creative expression just flow as it is. And I've got a bit of a structure there, and it's just going to be amazing. It's basically just going to be a place where you can come. It's going to have community as well, and like a virtual community where you can be encouraged to meet up in real life as well. That would be so beautiful. Maybe we can do that. Anyway, and then it's also going to have a whole bunch of resources, basically just a library of things, of teachings, of resources, of activities, of rituals that have helped me get to this place. And when I woke up this morning, I just realized all it is a process of getting curious with myself. And I'm going to create a whole platform for it. So, but at the moment, I want the idea to be that everyone logs on, and there might be some sequential things that you can do. So, do lesson 1, 2, 3, 4, or I would really like to create an offering or a place where you can come on and you can trust the feeling and trust your intuition and be like, what do I need today? And go through the categories and be like, oh, I'm really feeling body today. Oh, look at that. There's a somatics exercise there, and it'll just be something you can come back to again and again and again. So it's going to be a library. It's going to be there all the time. And then I'm assuming I will want to add to it. So like I said, I'm just letting my creative expression flow through me at the moment. So I'm really excited to just share it with the world, and I just want everyone to just feel so supported and so resourced on this journey of getting curious. Oh, because guys, it's just so bloody worth it. It is so bloody worth it. So I'm going to leave it there. Yeah, I hope this had some value. It feels so nice to get back behind the mic. But the mic this time is actually just my phone and a memo. Like I said, it's just, I've taken the seriousness away from it and the need to be professional and important. And it means I'll actually just start showing up again, because it's like this podcast is actually just coming into my lifestyle rather than me having to carve out fucking 5 hours a day to create something. And then I'd stop doing it for months. So yay, feeling good. I hope you're feeling good too. I love you so much, and have a beautiful day. Hey, beautiful soul. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Oasis.state podcast. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love for you to share it with a friend. It means the world to me knowing that everyone who needs this medicine and magic can lovingly receive it. Also, I'd love to hear from you, so feel free to reach out via social media, my website, or email. Can't wait to connect, and until then, sending you heaps of love.